What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Jay, and we are here with week 8 of the IBA Teambuilder prep up against Slightly Salted and the Vegas Corviknights. I almost forgot the name there. So as you can see, our teams are laid out before you guys. This is a final week before playoffs. We are 7-0 for the season. We are attempting to go 8-0 with the perfect season, and Salty is the only one who stands in our way. But we are gonna just brush him aside. I'm telling you right now, we're going 8-0. I'm telling you, I'm putting out in the world right now, in the universe, 8-0. It's happening. It's going down. So as you can see on his on the layout, his team is Cinderace, Rillaboom, Sylveon, Haxorus, Reuniclus, Corviknight, Inteleon, Rotom, Scrafty, and what's your name? Diggersby though. And so yes, as you can see, he has 2 forms of Rotom, and he has all 3 Galarian starters, which is not actually that bad because they're actually solid competitively wise, except for Rillaboom a little bit, but I'm gonna get into that in a little bit. So as you know, the first 6 mons that I have up along the layout are the ones that I predict him to bring. So I definitely see him bringing Cinderace because there hasn't been a week he hasn't gone without it. Rillaboom is somebody he acquired through free agent transactions, and Rillaboom's a little scary. Sylveon, because this is Dynamaxmon, Haxorus, Reuniclus, and Corviknight. Corviknight is a little iffy. I could see him running on the last slot. I could see him running Inteleon, Rotom, and maybe Scrafty. Those I could see him running either of those. I don't know. Corviknight's his bulky mon, so I think he's gonna bring it. He's been clinging to Reuniclus a lot, so I think he's gonna bring Reuniclus for sure. But if not, maybe he brings Inteleon instead of Reuniclus, or Rotom Heat instead of Corviknight, or whatnot. It might be a little bit, but I think he'll bring Corviknight for bulk because his team's not all that bulky except for Sylveon. So I'll see what's going on down there. I don't see him bringing Diggersby simply because it just doesn't do much here. We have all these water types. Why would he bring it? It doesn't make sense. All right. But if he does, he got me. So running through his team, Cinderace he's gonna bring because he can run a Choice Scarf, or he can run a Heavy Duty Boots and have Court Change. I'm not bringing Hazard simply for the Court Change because there's no reason. We'd have to play around the Cinderace, and I don't really feel like that's smart. And there's not. I mean, we pretty much outspeed a lot of things on his team regardless. Rillaboom, I could see him running Choice Band or Choice Scarf. He ran a Choice Scarf last week, so he might run a Choice Scarf again because Rillaboom's not really outspeeding anything. He won't outspeed Galarian Darmanitan if he's not Scarfed. Won't outspeed Gengar. Won't outspeed Hydreigon. Regardless, Sylveon's gonna. I don't know if Sylveon he can run a bulky set or he can run Choice Specs. So it's up to him, but he normally runs bulky and then likes to deal damage that way, so we'll see. Haxorus, he hasn't been running it because he doesn't know how to run it, but I think he's definitely running it this week for sure because Haxorus just hits hard. If he runs it Choice Scarf or Choice Banded, that's going to be a problem. Reuniclus, just a hard hitter, slow, so we have the advantage there, so we can deal damage out first. And then last but not least, Corviknight, because it's a wall, like I said. Looking at his team, I'm feeling pretty good about our squad. I'm gonna go ahead and get him to our squad. Actually, not enough about him. Let's talk about us. So we are bringing Whirlpool, of course, our boy Will-O-Wisp, Hydra Pump, Volt Switch, and Thunder Wave. So I'm running Thunder Wave this week simply because there's no real reason to run Defog. None of his mons get hazards aside from Diggersby, and the only thing that Diggersby gets is spikes. So there's no real reason to run Defog if we're not gonna be pressing it, you know. So I double checked. I'm pretty sure nothing gets hazards. I'll double check again just to make sure, but I'm pretty sure nothing gets hazards aside from Diggersby. So I don't see him bringing Diggersby, so therefore there is nothing to worry about on the hazard side of things. So that's the only reason why we're not running Defog. We can Thunder Wave some things. I'm gonna be kind of wary about hacking the Haxorus, because he could run a potential Facade Dragon Dance set or a potential Facade Choice Band set, and that's just going to be a problem because there's no win there, because Facade's going to hurt and he's going to be at like +2 that way, so there's no point in really statusing it. We'll have to play around it, but I'll get to that in a minute. Next up we have Teeth, our boy, with Sledge Wave, Shadow Ball, Destiny Bond, and Nasty Plot. So I thought, there's no real point to me running anything else. I could have ran Focus Blast just to check like Scrafty, or Diggersby, but there's no real reason because why even bother? Why even bother? So I ran Destiny Bond instead because if Teeth gets low enough or he's done his thing, we can just press Destiny Bond, get a kill, and boom, bada bing, we're Gucci. Nasty Plot, of course, is like to predict a switch. So we can fire off a Nasty Plot, and then just go to town basically and G-Max from there and like possibly get a sweep. Who knows? I mean, I'd be down. Only thing I have to be a little bit worried about is Cinderace, Inteleon, and Rillaboom, most likely, because he can run Scarfed, Rillaboom. Cinderace outspeeds us either way, Inteleon outspeeds us either way. So those are 3 things I gotta be worried about, really, speed-wise. Next up, we have Dandruff, our boy. So we are running the substitute belly drum set again with Fire Punch and Ice Punch this time, because I didn't feel a need to risk any misses with Icicle Crash, since we don't really need it. We take everything out regardless. So I'm feeling pretty good about getting the sweep off. I could see him Dynamaxing and going for just to get some health on Sylveon. I have to calc that. I think I calced it, but I'm not sure. I'll have to calc it one more time to see, just in case, if we can take him out with Ice Punch or whatnot, because that's a little bit worrisome, because the Dynamax is there, so he might do that to stop the sweep. But I definitely think we can pop off a sweep with Dandruff. This is our last week with this attempt, because playoff time, I don't think I'll be running this set unless it does work against my opponent, but we'll see. But I really want to get the Darmanitan sweep. I really do, and I think we can. If we can get Darmanitan in on like Rillaboom or Sylveon, maybe, I think he'll be really scared to take a hit from there, and try to switch out, so we can get a sub up. And basically, if I get a sub up, and I basically win, because I get a sub up, I belly drum, I outspeed everything on his team. We outspeed a Choice Scarfed Inteleon and a Choice Scarfed Cinderace. So like our speed is 307. Choice Scarfed Cinderace is like 282, and Choice Scarfed Inteleon is 283, I believe, is the way I calced it. So like we're outspeeding things for days, and we're gonna be at +6. Like that's game. It doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter what comes in. I OHKO everything, even if it's resisted. So we're Gucci. We're looking clean if we can get off the substitute without any damage. If we can get a sub up on a switch, we're beautiful. We're golden. That's the game right there. That's the GG's. Next up, we have Katara, our baby girl, with Scald, Recover, Haze, and Ice Beam. I'm running Haze in case he chooses to Dragon Dance, so that we can get rid of the stats. Or we can I'm running Ice Beam simply because we can take, I believe we could take Outrage if he runs it. I think we can. I think it does like 50 to 60, so that's going to be a little bit risky. But if he gets a low roll and we get leftovers recovery, if we switch in, then we're okay. But if not, then it's all right. We have a backup in case, just for that situation. But if we can get in like a clean switch in for, oh yeah, if he just D-dances and we get a switch in to Milotic, we can easily go for Haze, or we can go for Ice Beam, because Ice Beam does like, I think it does like 60 to 70%. It does a crazy amount. So it just depends on what we want to do to prevent getting swept. So we can go for a Haze, or we can go for an Ice Beam. Doesn't really matter to me. It just depends on what the in-game situation is and where we're sitting at. And then next up, we have Hydra, the Hydreigon, with U-Turn, Dragon Pulse, Dark Pulse, and Fire Blast. All right. So we're running a Choice Scarf on Hydra this week because it deals with Choice Scarf Rillaboom easily, and it deals with +1 Haxorus Jolly. So if he gets up a D-Dance, and he takes out our Katara, we'll be okay. But if he chooses to go for like a plus, like the thing is if I'm in with Milotic and he goes +1, he might get greedy and go for a +2, and that's when the game is over, because we don't really have anything that can take we don't outspeed anymore. So I might just press Haze to be safe, because I'll be probably the safest play, and you guys know me, I play safe and I go offensive when I need to. So in that situation, I'd probably go Haze instead of Ice Beam, just because I don't want to risk him getting +2, and that's definitely a thing. So we're also running Dragon Pulse because I don't want to risk the Draco Meteor miss when it's not needed, especially if he has a Sylveon at the time. But Dragon Pulse OHKOs Haxorus regardless, so that's why we're running Dragon Pulse. Dark Pulse is just stab. It also puts in work against Rotom. And it puts in work against, it hits everything else pretty decently, like 50, I think like 40 to 50 or 50 to 60%, which is a good amount. And Fire Blast is so we outspeed Rillaboom, and then we hit let me get my words right. We fire off a Fire Blast, and we have a chance to OHKO Rillaboom. So that's what I'm running Fire Blast for instead of Flamethrower. It also hits Corviknight pretty hard. And I think that's about it. That covers our whole set. And then last but not least, we have Big Boy. The reason why we're bringing, so I had Orbeetle. I was bringing Orbeetle to counter Sylveon, but I realized that Rotom Heat, if I don't bring a counter to Rotom Heat, if he does bring Rotom Heat, we kind of get our asses waxed because it runs through Milotic, it can run through Rotom, and it can hit everything else pretty hard. It can status us and whatnot. So Rotom Heat is a problem. So I was like, oh, gotta lay off Orbeetle because Orbeetle will get bodied as well. Even though it's bulky, it still does not want to take an overheat, and that's a 2-hit KO right there. But he does have the stat drop, but I just don't want to risk it. And we have no clean switch-ins for a Thunderbolt or a Volt Switch. So here is Big Boy, the same one we brought against Kyogre with Stone Edge Crunch, Iron Head, and Earthquake, rocking out with the Assault Vest and Ike. So I have a bunch of calcs right here, and I was seeing how well the only thing that I was debating on was whether Orbeetle or Tyranitar took Hyper Voices really well. So we have up against a modest max special attack Sylveon, we take 29 to 35%. 29 to 35% from a Hyper Voice, and we're looking beautiful. So bro, Tyranitar is just so damn thick. So that's good. If he's running choice specs, max special attack modest, Hyper Voice does 42 to 51%, which is still a good amount, and we will outspeed unless he runs max speed on Sylveon, which I don't see him doing because Sylveon's base speed is 60, Tyranitar's is 61, so we win speed unless he runs speed investment, which would be a little bit unfortunate, but I'm not tripping about it because we still tank a hit and we can go for Iron Head. So, and Iron Head does like 65 to 77% or 55 to 65%. So either way, it's a 2-hit KO, which I'm loving. I'm loving it. But that's if he's not running any defense EVs. Probably with defense EVs, it will probably still be a 2-hit KO. Honestly, I can only see it dropping down to like 50 to 55, but that's still 2-hit KO, so I'll take it. And then last but not least, if he runs like no special attack investment and just goes bulky, we only take 21 to 26% from a Hyper Voice. So unless he feels like running Hyper Beam, running Choice Specs Hyper Beam, that OHKOs us either way. It has a chance to OHKO us. Oh, it actually doesn't. It does not. It does not. It only does 71 to 85%. So if he runs Hyper Beam, he got me good. He got me good. He got me hella good. So that's a little scary. But that is the squad right there. I'm feeling pretty good about our squad. He's not bringing any hazards, so that's something that we don't have to worry about this week. I'm pretty sure, unless he brings Diggersby with spikes, which I don't. Even if he brought Diggersby, I don't think he'd run spikes. I'm pretty sure he didn't do any free agent transactions last week to go on to this week, so I think we're looking pretty saucy. Just comes down to playing smart, making the right plays, doing the right predictions. Really want to get the Darmanitan sweep because it would be lovely if we get the sweep and go out on a high note to end the regular season 8-0. But I'm feeling pretty good about our team. Hydreigon covers his team really well. Darmanitan puts in work as well. Rotom Wash, of course, is always doing work. Gengar, always putting work. Always. But that's about it, man. I'm just scared about the scarfy little Rillaboom, but I'm not gonna run Choice Scarf Gengar just to do that. We already have Hydreigon here, and we resist his stab. He could run. I think Rillaboom gets Hammer Arm, or it just gets Drain Punch. I think it just gets Drain Punch, and that's the only move I'm worried about for Hydreigon because he can hit us with a U-turn, which will do a decent. It does like half, I believe. But aside from that, I'm feeling pretty good about our squad. Nothing like too scary on his side, aside from like Haxorus and just Haxorus and Rillaboom, because Rillaboom covers our team pretty well. It can deal with Rotom, Milotic, and Tyranitar, so that's a little scary. But if we can get in Darmanitan on a Rillaboom, I don't think he might go for a U-turn. But if he outspeeds us and goes for a U-turn, ooh, that's a problem, because if we get the sub up, then like we can't belly drum. I'm pretty sure we have to have yeah. But we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. I think he might be scared that I'm running Scarf Darmanitan, and so he won't press U-turn. I think we'll just switch right out. That's what I'm saying. But you never know what could happen, because I mean, if Darmanitan goes down, it's not the worst thing in the world, because we have. It's not like it's just there to like to sweep basically. But we'll figure out a way around it. We have a solid team. I'm feeling pretty good about it. We are not going down here, guys. We're gonna go 8-0. I promise you. And like, bro, straight up, if Salti doesn't bring Rillaboom, that's the dumbest idea I've ever seen. Because if he doesn't bring Rillaboom, I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know who helped him build this team. But if he does not bring Rillaboom, then it's easy pickings. I'm telling you that right now. It is easy pickings. But he has to bring Rillaboom. There's no way he doesn't. If he doesn't, that's gonna be a problem. I'm gonna be like, yo, you want to forfeit right now? I'll let you put Rillaboom on your team. But I'm just playing, Salty. You know I'm playing. Love you, buddy. But I think without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead. I actually have to play him in here in like an hour. So without further ado, I'm gonna get up out your hair and I'll catch you guys in the battle this weekend on a Saturday at 10 a.m. EST. So be ready for that. But I'm gonna get up out your hair and I'll catch y'all next time. Bye.